Good morning, everyone. We are back with a new story today. It's just a short one, just like a picture book story. And this story has a lesson or a moral to it. So, this particular book, when I read it to you, you need to be listening to what's the lesson that this story is trying to teach you? Or a lot of times it's the moral of the story. So that's why I was using that word before, and that just means lesson. So, today we're going to read How the Chipmunk Got His Stripes. One autumn day long ago, Bear was out walking. As he walked, he began to brag. I am Bear. I am the biggest of all the animals. I am Bear. I am the strongest of all the animals. I am Bear. I am loudest of all the animals. I am Bear, and I can do anything. Yes, I can. Here's a picture of Bear. As soon as Bear said those words, a little voice spoke up from the ground. Can you really do anything? Bear looked down, and he saw a brown squirrel standing between his legs. Can you really do anything? Brown Squirrel asked again. Here's a picture. The little squirrel talking to the bear. Bear stood up very tall. I am Bear, and I can do anything. Can you tell the sun not to rise tomorrow morning? Brown Squirrel asked. I have never tried that before, but I can do that. Yes, I can. And here's the bear kind of getting angry, and the little squirrel. Bear turned west to face the sun. It was the time when the sun always goes down. Bear stood up to his full height and spoke in a loud voice. Sun, do not come up tomorrow. At his words, the sun began to disappear behind the hills. You see, said Bear, Sun is afraid of me. He's running away. But will the sun come up tomorrow? Brown Squirrel asked. No, Bear answered. The sun will not come up. And here's the bear yelling at the sun as it's setting. The bear turned to face east, the direction where the sun always used to come up. He sat down. Little Brown Squirrel sat down beside him. All that night they did not sleep. All that night Bear kept saying these words. The sun will not come up. The sun will not come up. But as the night went on, the little brown squirrel began to say something too. He said, the sun is going to rise. The sun is going to rise. Here's a picture of them waiting to see what's going to happen. All through the night they sat there. One by one, other animals started to gather around them. Fox and wolf, deer and mouse, rabbit and porcupine, hawk and owl, otter, beaver, frog and turtle, and even the little mice came. They wanted to see who would be right, bear or brown squirrel. This is what the other animals heard. The sun will not come up. The sun is going to rise. The sun will not come up. The sun is going to rise. Finally, it was just before dawn, the time when the sun always used to come up. Look, said Turtle, a little bit of red is starting to show. Yes, said Owl, I believe the sun will rise today. Bear only chanted louder, the sun will not come up. But right next to him, Little Brown Squirrel piped up, the sun is going to rise. And here's everybody all gathered together, watching for the sun to rise or not rise. And the sun did come up. The birds sang their welcoming songs. The bright light of the new day spread over the land. Everyone was happy except for one animal, and that animal was Bear. He sat there with his head down and a very grumpy look on his face. There's Bear with that grumpy look. The happiest animal of all was the little brown squirrel. The sun came up, he chirped. The sun came up, and I can't believe it. The brown squirrel was so happy he forgot that his wise old grandmother had told him what his wise old grandmother had told him when he was very young. Brown squirrel, his grandmother said, it is good to be right about something, but when someone else is wrong, it is not a good idea to tease them. Now little brown squirrel began to tease the bear. Bear is foolish, the sun did come up. Bear is silly, the sun came up. Bear is stupid, the sun. So there's the brown squirrel making fun of the bear, and the bear is really upset because he was wrong. Whomp! The bear's big paw came down on the little brown squirrel, pinning him to the ground. Bear leaned over and opened his huge mouth. Yes, the bear growled, the sun did come up. Yes, I do look foolish, but you will not live to see another sunrise. You will not ever tease anyone else ever again, because I, Bear, am going to eat you. The brown squirrel thought fast. You are right to eat me, he said. I was wrong to tease you. I would like to say I am sorry before you eat me, but you are pressing down on me so hard that I cannot say anything. I cannot say anything at all. I can't even breathe. If you would lift your paw up just a little bit, then I could take a deep breath and apologize before you eat me. That is a good idea, Bear said. I would like to hear you apologize before I eat you. So there's Bear holding the little squirrel down. So Bear lifted up his paw, but instead of apologizing, Brown Squirrel ran. He ran as fast as he could toward the pile of stones where he had his home. He had a tunnel under those stones and a nice warm burrow deep underground. Little Brown Squirrel's grandmother stood there at the door waiting for him. Hurry, Brown Squirrel, she called. Hurry, hurry. So there he is rushing towards his home in the stones with his grandmother. Little Brown Squirrel dove for the door to his home, but Bear was faster than he looked. He grabbed for the little brown squirrel with his big paw, and Bear's long, sharp claws scratched Brown Squirrel's fur back from the top of his head to the tip of his tail. So there's the bear scratching and the lines starting to form on the brown squirrel. But Brown Squirrel got away. Deep down in his burrow where Bear couldn't get him, the brown squirrel curled up next to his grandmother and slept all winter while those scratches on his back healed. So here's him hiding with his grandma, and you can still see the scratches on his back. And when spring came, little brown squirrel came out of his hole and looked at himself. There were long, pale stripes all the way down his back where Bear had scratched him. He was Brown Squirrel no longer. He was now Chipmunk, the striped one. That is how Chipmunk got his stripes. Ever since then, Chipmunk has been the first animal to get up every morning. As the sun rises, he scoots to the top of the tallest tree to sing his song. The sun came up, the sun came up, the sun came up. So if you look, here he is over here singing his song. And ever since then, Bear has been the last animal to get up. He does not like to hear Chipmunk's song. It reminds him, as it reminds us all, that no one, not even Bear, can do everything. And there's Bear, staying in his cave, sleeping late. So that was our story, How the Chipmunk Got His Stripes. To go along with this, there's a few questions on a Google slide, so I would like you to answer those questions using complete sentences if you can, and try to correct any misspellings that you have. So remember, if you have that red squiggly line under a word, it's telling you that it's spelled wrong. So I'd like you to try to click on those and correct them before you turn it in. All right, I hope you liked the story.